Napoleon Total War, Russia, Part 4. In this episode, you're going to see at a very high level the back and forth antics the AI plays with various countries, and you're going to see how I respond as Russia. What you're seeing right here is me building my first army in northern Russia because I need that to counter some threats the French have made. The French have basically conquered most of the smaller countries, and I need to push back against that, and that's what you're going to see in this episode. I tend to try and play fairly, and what I mean by that is I try to give other countries the opportunity to exist. But when the French in the concept of a game irk me too much, I have no choice but to do what I don't want to do, which is to destroy France. And right now what you've just seen is me taking Britannia, and I'm going to go on my continuing tirade here. First I'm going to heal up before I move forward, and then I'll eventually move forward and take out Normandy. And my typical practice when the French AI irks me is to loot and burn the entire country to the ground. One of the reasons I do that is to limit the amount of money the French can potentially have to counter anything I can do. And that tactic seems to work relatively well. At this point in the game, the French have a lot of provinces, as you can tell from the map, so this is just the start of that strategy, which you will see unfold here in this episode. What you're seeing right now is me making a move to basically try and counter some of that. And you're seeing me move here against Hessen. And one thing you're not seeing here is you're seeing the victories. Okay, what I mean by you're seeing the victories is there were a number of attacks that if I would have played the battle out, me against the AI, I would have won. But I'm trying to do this all on auto-resolve, which means that there are some battles I had to replay and adjust my army mixes, get a second army to, have success. So that's what you're seeing here. Typically in Napoleon Total War, to beat one stack, you need a stack and a half to successfully have an opportunity. Sometimes, like that, I make a mistake. And what I mean is I make a mistake is you have to be sure that both of your armies are within reach of any city that you potentially attack. Otherwise, you move that first army forward, and the AI may decide to attack you, and you don't have a second army to support you, and you're going to be either forced to retreat or your army is going to get chewed up and mauled. What you just saw here was the French retook that province. I went back, I healed, I just retook it again, and now Normandy is mine again. See me move out and go heal again, and this is going to be back and forth. Typically it happens in the provinces that are originally French. What you're seeing over here is me moving on some of the less defended provinces in Northern Europe, but this is me once again coming back, taking the province back before the French take it, back and forth, back and forth. And if you watched my previous episode on Austria, you know how many times I had to go back and forth and reconquer Vienna for the Austrians. Here we are taking Clef St. Mark, and each time I do this, you're going to notice I'm liberating. I'm basically adding a buffer state between me and the French and diminishing the overall French income. One thing you notice there, if you were paying attention, is I no longer had a general in that army. I have to put one in there. I see the French are close to my provinces. That's the last of the Prussians up there, so I have to do something. I'm going to move north now and take out Oldenburg. As you can tell, a lot of these battles are one-sided because the French, once you get behind their main line, they aren't garrisoning their provinces, which they feel, or the AI felt, were untouchable. One of the other things I'm going to tell you is that as I play the game, certain things will irk me or upset me with the AI. One of those things is the interference of the Spanish in the game. Historically, you didn't find the Spanish in Vienna. You didn't find the Spanish in, Italy, places like that. But the AI can be a little challenging and interesting in that respect. Here I am just going back to heal before I make another move with that army. This time we're going to go after Amsterdam and Holland, because as you can tell, it's undefended. I got behind the French first line of troops. So this is to my benefit, and it's going to reduce the French overall income, like I said. So it's important that you try and get behind them sometimes. Sometimes that requires a head-on assault. Sometimes it requires you being careful and out-manipulating the AI. What I mean by that is if you're going up against a province and it has an army in it and you're trying to get past it, sometimes that requires that you bait the AI out of position with like a unit. So they go and chase it, they attack it, but they don't have time to get back to blocking from where you're trying to get to. So keep that in mind as you play. This province over here, which is, I believe it's Brussels, okay, is important for me to take because that's the one that's closer to France proper. And what I'll typically do with an army there is I will use that to, and here we are back in Normandy, fighting back and forth again. But Brussels, I use that as a place to do hit and run, go back, heal, come back out, hit the French again, go back, heal, etc., etc. For some reason, the AI does not immediately go after newly liberated countries. I'm not quite sure why, but if they did, it would force me to change my strategy, and I'm not quite sure what I would do. What I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to move closer to Berlin because I need to remove Berlin from the game because Berlin is a big money-making machine for the French. There goes Normandy again, being attacked by the French. This has changed more hands than Vienna did against the French and the Spanish. Replace the general I lost, and then we'll be able to start to heal again. Okay. It's a good-looking army. Now, Tyrol. Who's there? The Spanish again. And, yes, you heard me in disgust. It's the Spanish are like a giant thorn in my side. Okay, this is me moving forward just to move the French out of my territory. Because I don't want the French behind my lines, if at all possible. Because what the AI will do is it will move into various resources and burn them. And in so doing, diminish my income. Which, even though it looks like I have a lot of the map as Russia, I do not. I'm thinking about, let's see, which one was that? Oh, okay. That was Saxony being liberated. Sorry about that. Mind was wandering on my water that I'm drinking now. So now Berlin is basically almost 100% isolated. There's one other French province next to it. That's going to be a harder nut to crack. I might not even attack Berlin. I'm not sure. As you can tell, I've done a really, really nice job at liberating all of the countries in like mid-Europe, like northwestern Europe, Brussels, Flanders, Brandenburg, Kassel-Hessen, Oldenburg. All of those I've liberated. Now, typically what I'll do is if I can, I'll just go and burn French ports so they can't get resources from that trade. That was surprising. I didn't lose that fight against the Spanish. That's good, though. Just so you know, I've tried taking that particular city, that in Alsace-Lorraine, a couple of times, and I've reloaded the game because it just a couple of times I've tried, I've gotten mauled, and if I would have fought the battle, I would not have lost. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm readjusting what I'm doing here with that army and sending them someplace else. Maybe there's no way I can win against 3 armies with 1. 2 Spanish armies and 1 French army. There's no way I can win. So I'm going to have to find a different way to go and attack the Spanish. Because they have... I'll be very blatant, piss me off to the end here. So I'm going to go take them out of the game. Just so much of an irritant when you play. And I don't know how the AI determines when a country sends aid, but I don't know that formula. Okay, so now we're going to send this army, now that they're almost healed, down to Spain also. It's going to be a challenge getting in, maybe. Not sure. Yeah, let's go to that bridge there. What I'm going to try and do is have the 2 armies meet up in the middle of the board. That way a single army will not by choice attack me. This is something interesting I do just to show you. You never have to attack if you're hidden, but what it does do is exposes what the enemy has moving through that spot to you, as if you had a spy within the army telling you what was there. So here we go now. Here come the French. Ugh. I don't want to fight this. I can't afford to fight this. If I fight this, I won't get the 2 armies down in Spain, so I'm going to have to run. It's my only choice. Especially with them having a reserve and 3 units of guard in that first army, it will maul me horribly bad. So let's just retreat. Okay. The army's alive, the French moved away. That's good. That means I have a chance to get down into Spain. We'll see if I make it. Still French armies to contend with. Alright. What to do with this army here? What to do? Now what I'm doing here, you see that stack off to my right and that other man by the bridge? I specifically went this way because I was hoping that the one would retreat and move into the other, thereby forcing a fight, and I would be able to take both out, which is what happened. So now, back to France. Nobody there to surprise me, which is lucky. That guy's gonna probably run away. Okay. French army. I can't afford to fight them. I have to run too. I don't have a lot of armies in Northern Europe. I think I just have 1. So we need to go someplace else. Run away. Luckily for me, they didn't pursue. He had enough there to destroy me. Okay. Here we go now. I'm going to retake this first. I'm going to keep it. This is one that I'm using basically as a base to heal, because it has the warehouse. That's very useful to me at this point. Here comes another French army. Yeah, that was them pursuing my army that ran away before near Berlin. Okay. Alright, here we go. Into Spain. As you move troops, if you're going to be moving more than one army on the road, move them one army at a time and don't jump off the road to get in front of the other army because it actually slows your movement down marginally. This should be an easy fight. Easy fights are nice. Don't have a large amount of income right now. To some of you who have played, 1,000 is a lot. To me, 4,000 is not a lot based upon, what I still have to contend with here on the board. I have to do this slowly, and as you're watching me move, you're going to see how I do it. One army following the other army. Okay? He has 2 stacks. His 2 stacks have probably beat my 2 stacks. He's attacking Baden-Württemberg again. I'm not going to win this one. French are just too powerful in terms of their troops. Okay. Alright. Yeah, it wasn't a real army. I don't know why the Spanish moved that army over there. That makes no sense. I would have never done that. I would have put the other army in front of Madrid. They have no chevrons. They are going to lose. Okay. Peacefully occupy. Okay, that was good. That was surprisingly easy. Now I have to destroy this other army over here. I can't have any Spanish behind me because they'll just run around the main Spanish province of Madrid, burning every resource to the ground. And I just can't have that happen. So, finish them off. That's the end of that. Now any Spanish income and any Spanish troops are going to be coming from the island directly to the east of Spain. That's their last place, their last holdout at this point. I'm just going to go back over there just in case there's a rebellion, and we'll heal up first. Good. Moving good so far. No major surprises on the board yet. Okay. Sending that army up north because I'm going to go and use that army to invade an island that the Spanish are on. Typically those islands, if it's the AI, it plays with the default of whatever it has there in terms of building. If it's a courthouse, it's a courthouse. If it's a barracks, it's a barracks. It doesn't change it to try and improve its troops. Here we are back in Berlin. I don't want to fight this. That's not a good fight. Not a fight we can win. We'll move away in a turn or two. Okay. Alright, we're there. French are trying to take my province again. This will be an easy fight. We'll heal up in one turn. Position ourselves. Okay, over there. Then we'll move to that. Because I need that in order to be able to build the boat there. This is a risk, but he's got guards, 1 unit of elite infantry, no general though. We should win. Like I said though, all auto resolves in terms of combat. Just to see if it can be done. Okay, peacefully occupy. Fix what we need to, build a boat. That's the one I'm having a hard problem with. The army you see there, that's the one from Berlin. There was no way I could take it with one army. Here's the Spanish again in Portugal. Not going to accept anything. Good Spanish troops. It's the last you're going to see of the good Spanish troops, though. Reason for that is they can't make troops in Spain anymore. Ha ha ha. Take our army, we'll go back and reclaim that immediately. There. As you can tell, this is a relatively powerful army, which is a good thing for me in the concept of the game. But as you can tell, if you were paying attention to this army, it had some different chevrons before this particular battle. And now they've gone down because it has to reincorporate green troops into the battle, or into the army, the battle units, I'm sorry. So, let's see what's going on. Flags moving, flags not moving. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Let's see, we're just thinking this through here, or the game is, I should say. Contemplating what to do. Alright. So what do we have here? We're moving an army around, because I'm going to need 2 armies in Brussels in order to take on the French in Paris. Well, that was a mistake. I didn't want to move one guy. I wanted to move the whole army. I'll have to fix that. Okay. So we're going to fix that with the army, and we're going to get the other army to come over here and join them. Okay. Let's get everybody this time. Not a stellar army in terms of where they're at in accuracy or reloading skill, but it's the one I have. Alright, here we are over here again. Okay, now we're there. Gonna load them onto the boat that I previously built. There's a risk I could lose this army because the French and Spanish still control the Mediterranean. What the hell is this? Oh man. Portugal just declared war on me. Wow. Not nice. Alright, so now I gotta worry about Portugal too. I'm sure they're gonna have some, well, in theory they probably have good troops. I don't know yet. Okay. So what do we have here? Saxony, Prussians, French. Nothing magical going on here. Okay. Just got my fingers crossed hoping that the French don't counterattack me. So I don't have anything up there. The army I used to have over there is now in Brussels. So that's going to be fun. I don't have a lot of troops here. Ouch. Wow, Portuguese, wow. Do I have anybody who can fight them? I'm going to take my army from Portugal and go up and fight them is what I'm going to do. Fell short. I know what to do. Oh, they're within the zone of control though, so that'll work. Take a guy, attack, auto-resolve. Okay. Couple of casualties, but nothing major. Okay, now here's the army I have in here. Work the boat out. And then we'll go in, attack on this island over here. And then from there we'll move on what's left of the Spanish on the connecting island. One island army there, bring the second army over, and then we're ready to move on the French in some fashion. As you can tell, some countries raise their troops faster than other countries. And some countries, like mine, I'm not quite sure. Keep the armies together, because we can make a move on this province here. 2 armies, we can take it. we're still continuing with the same philosophy, which is the burn it to the ground philosophy. So we'll loot that. Take the money, go spend it, and now we have to retreat and go heal. Hopefully they'll be out of position for what's coming next. Two armies, each one took a few casualties. Let's move them both out of there. It's a very solid army there. Go over there and heal. I wish I was healing green here, but I'll settle for like, it's like a light orange. Okay. I'm healing. Now we got to go back into Portugal because I played this before. When I'm not in Portugal long enough, they rebel. So I got to go put some troops in there. So who can I put into Portugal? I got an army over there. They're going to circle around and go in. Here's Napoleon himself coming to retake his province. The nice thing about him doing that is at least I know where he is. A lot of good cav in that army. A lot of good cav. Guard though. Okay. So that's doable. The Portuguese are attacking Catalonia. Oh. Catalonian troops are not stellar. No, they are not. But Portuguese didn't pursue. That's good. Alright, what we got going on now? We have our armies. He's going to go in there. He's going to go in there. So he's going into Lisbon. My other army is going to go and do what? Oh, we still have some Portuguese to get rid of. This will be the end of the Spanish because they're trying to improve that building, but it really doesn't have anything. Conscripts, basically. Good conscripts, but still just conscripts. And they are done. We're going to keep that. Okay, so the Spanish are out of the game now. I still need to remedy my Portuguese problem here. That's going to require some additional movement. But as you can tell, you know, as the Russians, things are not going horribly right now. The French are very diminished. Austrians are being good, you know, being a good ally. And I've liberated basically all of these smaller countries. I'm a wonderful person. All right. Let's see, this is the French once again attacking me. That's the province I previously took. I'm not going to be able to fight that off. I have to give that to them. But like I said, trying to stay honest, doing auto-resolves for everything. Take the army that's in Spain and move north. Okay, here we are now, here. This was a bad move on Napoleon's part, or on the AI's part, because now he's basically put two Russian armies. And there's the AI attacking. Aside from the artillery Alpide, nothing special there in those forces, so we can auto-resolve this. And Paris is ours, but because I'm still playing the game for fun, I'm going to burn it. I'm going to burn everything. And then I'm going to go back. It was just to see if I could do it at this point. There we go. Loot the city. It doesn't need it. Yeah, that's the 76,000. You want to call them units of currency are going to do a lot to build up everything I have behind the scenes, which is what you don't see. which long term is going to give me lots of additional income. Okay, let's go back and heal, but I don't want to go back the short way because I'll probably get attacked by that army, and I don't want any unnecessary casualties. So, caution as you play the game. Here come the French coming to retake Paris. That's fine. Let them retake it. I got what I really came for, which was the money this time. Okay. I'm not going to be able to stop them from retaking it. And they have rockets now. Oh. Well, that's another reason to take care of Paris, because the rockets can only come from Paris. Alright, let's see here. Here we are moving on the Portuguese in northern Spain. It says we have an advantage. Their troops are pretty good, but we'll do it anyways. Victory. Now, he's got a lot of troops over there in that next province, so I don't want to lose what I'm about to take here. So we better finish this up, finish them off. Still have the advantage. Ooh, we've been beat up pretty good. Keep that. Do some repairs. Then we have to reinforce this province before we can move forward. Okay, now let's get more troops over here. I have to pull them from Madrid. I've been building troops. Let's take the infantry and move over there to support. Okay. And they'll get there in one turn. Now I'm not worried about losing that province. Good. Okay. That's it for today.